bounty hunters. We definitely serve their kind here. For those of you who saw the season premiere of The Mandalorian, you know that we are pumped for what's in store after a surprising reveal.
Spoiler alert!
Boba Fett is alive. It's been quite a while since we last saw that famous bounty hunter, and even more so with his helmet off. And he looks like he's been through a hell of a lot. What are his intentions with the Mandalorian? We don't know the answer to that yet, but what we do know is everything he's done up until now, and how he got to the scorching sands of Tatooine. Welcome to Patrol Clip, and today we'll be looking at the life of one of the galaxy's most feared bounty hunters, and what he's up to in The Mandalorian Season 2. Now before we begin, of course, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. Now let's punch it! So, Boba Fett, he's been around since the Clone Wars, and he wasn't always a bounty hunter. His father, Jango Fett, was the man who served as a template for each clone of the Grand Army of the Republic. Boba himself is an unaltered clone, meaning that he doesn't age as rapidly as the other clones. He lived with his father on the planet Kamino, the base of operations for the clone army and home to the Kamonians, with whom he became familiar through his father. His father also taught him everything he learned from bounty hunting, like hand-to-hand combat, how to handle a blaster, and how to pilot and operate the famous Slave One. His life soon took a tragic turn, however, when, at the age of only 10, he got involved in a conflict between the Republic and the Separatists.
What is it, Dad?
Pack your things. We're leaving.
After Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi pursued him and his father to Geonosis after finding out that his father was behind the assassination attempts on Padme Amidala. After they reached the planet, one of the most pivotal moments in the galaxy occurred, when the remaining Jedi Knights, after a last stand in an arena, are rescued by the clones, aka the Grand Army of the Republic. In the mix of it all, his father Jango goes up against Mace Windu and, well, loses his head. We see a very Shakespearean type of shot of Boba holding his father's helmet, mourning his death. From this point forward, Boba started to make a name for himself in the galaxy. First, starting with his revenge against Mace Windu, which is seen in the Clone Wars show. He joined a team of bounty hunters with some familiar faces, including Bossk. Together, they planned to assassinate Windu. After posing as a young clone trooper and planting a bomb in Windu's bedroom, Fett's attempt failed when an unsuspecting clone wandered into the trap, forcing him to sabotage the reactor core and killing nearly everyone on board, including Windu and Anakin Skywalker, who managed to walk away with a few scratches.
Boba was on Geonosis when his father died. He watched as I killed him.
That would complicate things.
Indeed.
Boba eventually got captured by Windu and vowed to never forgive him for his actions.
But you started when you murdered my father. I'll never forgive you.
Well, you're going to have to.
While in a maximum security prison, Boba started to become a bounty hunter, and even had a small altercation with an undercover Obi-Wan Kenobi after being paid and encouraged to do so by Cad Bane, a ruthless bounty hunter. Boba would leave prison and formed a syndicate on Tatooine called Crate's Claw, consisting of some more familiar faces in bounty hunting. The syndicate would go on many missions, and in one mission in particular, they had encountered Asajj Ventress, a former apprentice of Count Dooku turned bounty hunter. The two didn't really get off on the right foot, and her history with the team would haunt them for some time. I mean, there just wouldn't be enough plot without a little tension, right? It wasn't until the final years of the Clone Wars when Boba would grow more independent, and after the Clone Wars, he started to gain quite the reputation, particularly for the way he dealt with his enemies. No disintegrations. As he grew in reputation, so did his gear. He inherited his father's armor and ship, and soon became the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. Oh, and a fun little mini trivia fact, the dent on Boba's helmet came from a standoff that he had with Cad Bane. Hey there guys, are you still with us? Still got a pulse? Still feeling the force? good deal, because now we are approaching what Fett was up to during the original trilogy, and then we'll take a look at what his place is in The Mandalorian. Alright, so Boba's reputation was still very well known by the time the Galactic Civil War came around, and during the time of Episode 4, Boba Fett would carry out secret missions for Darth Vader himself, with one particular mission angering Vader as Fett disintegrated 3 rebel spies. He also encountered Han Solo on Tatooine for a brief moment before he joined the rebellion. After the Battle of Yavin, Fett began working much more closely with the Empire, when Darth Vader sent him on a mission to find a Rebel Alliance pilot associated with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, that guy. And a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. He didn't happen to find any useful information about the Millennium Falcon, but he managed to find crucial information about the Rebel Alliance pilot. His name, Luke Skywalker, and his history on Tatooine. Soon after, he left for Obi-Wan Kenobi's old home to confront Skywalker, and he showed up, leading to a fight between the two. Boba definitely had the upper hand in terms of hand-to-hand combat, overpowering Skywalker at almost every turn. However, he was knocked unconscious after Luke used the Force to pull a box across the room. That's a pretty cheap way to go out, but oh wait, we're not quite there yet. Boba reported to Vader. Man, little did he know that he would be the first person in the galaxy to tell Darth Vader that he had a son. Man, imagine dropping that ball. The two paths would cross sometime later during the events of The Empire Strikes Back, where Vader would recruit him and other bounty hunters to find the Millennium Falcon.
You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegrations.
As you wish.
Boba would be the one to finish the job, and in addition to his payment from Vader, he also obtained a frozen Han Solo in carbonite to bring to Jabba the Hutt. Now talk about some cold hard credits. After successfully delivering Solo to Jabba the Hutt, he would continue working for the Crime Lord right up to the events of Return of the Jedi. During this time, Luke Skywalker is captured by Jabba alongside the recently thawed out Han Solo, as well as Princess Leia. Boba, on Jabba's barge, made the journey to the Pit of Carkoon to watch their execution. When Luke's rescue plan comes into motion, a firefight ensues, where in the middle of the action, Boba Fett's jetpack is hit by an almost blind Han Solo swinging an axe, causing him to fly forward out of control, smashing against the sail barge, and then falling into the Pit of Carkoon. Talk about an anticlimactic way to go. In terms of the aftermath of the events at the Sarlacc pit, Fett's armor was found by Sheriff Cobb Vanth of Mos Pelgo, in a Jawa sandcrawler of all places. However, as we all well know, Boba is confirmed to have survived in the latest episode of The Mandalorian. So, how did he escape? Well, it's unknown how he escaped the Sarlacc pit in the first place, but our best guess is that he managed to blast his way out sometime after, similar to how Mando himself defeated the Krayt Dragon. His armor is fairly durable, and he has more than a few tricks up his sleeve, so there's quite a few options that can be thought upon. When we see him in Mando Season 2, he looks weathered and worn, carrying a rifle and staff of some kind. It's also the first time that we see him without his helmet after the Clone Wars, and he looks just like his father Jango. Aww. He also looks like he's got a few scars on his face, possibly from his escape from the Sarlacc pit or, I don't know, maybe something worse. But you know, chicks dig scars. We'll surely see what his true intentions are in Season 2, but for now, we're just glad he's back and not being slowly digested over 1,000 years. Did you enjoy this video, fans? If you did, consider liking it, subscribing, ring that notification bell for more videos just like this one. And if not, well, you know, we could bring you in warm, or we can take you out cold. Until next time.